Hello and Happy New Year for 2021. Today in the Drazy 160 video, I'm going to be showing you my most recent purchase, which is the German liveried version of the x73500. This is the x73900. I've bought this just for the chassis actually. I'm going to be using it to put under one of my French livery versions. I'm going to be showing you some of the sound effects that it's got, some of the cool stuff it's got on board it, and why it's quite a good model to buy. So I will run through some of the stuff now, and I'm going to start with the conversion. I wanted to use the body on the right, which was a blue SNCF liveried version of the Autorail rather than the Deutsche Bahn version on the left. This would be more useful on my layout, so I decided to have a look underneath and just see what the chassis was like. It's actually a like-for-like replacement. It's very easy to make the conversion. There's a few differences. There's the new Next 18 DCC decoder interface, which is what is becoming standard practice. And the sound decoder itself is very compact in nature. It's probably one of the smaller ones that I've seen, and yes, it seemed to be very good conversion. One thing I did need to do was, as you can see here, this is the blue body on the original chassis, is it actually to look at the changing the bogies over, because they are black on the German version, whereas they're grey on the French versions. This wasn't too difficult. To just make sure that you do it upside down so the train is on its roof effectively if you're going to do this. To make sure the wheels and the cogs don't fall out, and make sure that when you do push the bogies piece that holds the bottom into place, make sure that it is a very firm fit. Perhaps use a very small screwdriver to make sure that it is in the correct location and firmly and securely in place, and otherwise you will have issues with it, because it will operate, but it won't operate very well. So just make sure that it's done right. So here it is on the track. So I'm going to go quiet now so you can hear it. There's the lights going, they're amazing. Now it's time to see what it's like when it's moving and under power with the motor in use. Now sometimes when you're going over short distances like this, the sound effects don't have time to catch up with it, so it perhaps goes a little bit out of sync. But most of the time it's okay. It's quite good at leaving at slow speed. One thing that I'm trying to do with this particular try is to get the squeal of the brakes when it comes in for a quick stop. Listen out for it when it comes in for a quick stop. Not quite there yet. it's definitely running very well with the sound effects. There we go. Very nice. I think it's been very well executed, and I think this is a very well done sound decoder. Sounds are a bit different. There's obviously German versions of the sound as opposed to the French version of the sound. Now, one of the things that I do have the benefit of is I actually have another version of this, which is the French version. This is the interior of it. This is the chassis of it here. Just thought I'd take a photo of it. Perhaps a little bit older in design. It's about 8 years old, this one that fits in the standard original version of the chassis with the 6-pin decoder. So this is the original sounds here. I'm just going to quickly cycle through those, and then we'll start up the new version, and you can see what the differences are. It's perhaps older in style. I've done another video on this, so I don't really mind talking over it, so apologies if you're here for that, but you can perhaps go and seek out the older video there that was that. But definitely the door closing sounds is more French. There's different sounds, perhaps like the sanding unit when it moves off is a bit different. I don't know if that was something they missed off on the German version, or if they just decided to do it a bit differently. Perhaps they didn't have the opportunity to record that. But yeah, I think it was this is definitely more French. So I'm just going to compare the version here, the French version, with the German version, which is on the left, in terms of the noise volumes, and just see how they sound together. I think the new version just requires the volume being a bit low, so I went into the settings. It was originally at 192, which is CV63. I reduced it to about 100. I think it's sounding a bit better here. Yeah, you can just about hear the sound of the French one over the sound of the German version here, which is good. That's about the volume I want to be able to run it. You may wonder why I'm doing the testing on the main line here of the layout rather than a moutier. Well, if you look closely into the ravine there, I'm allowing some of the water to dry, the water effects to dry at the moment, so I didn't want to be leaning over it. But I have got some photos of the two units here in a moutier station, so in all good time, I will be getting some good videos of these two together in the station and operating, because they are the mainstay of the operating fleet on this line. And the eagle-eyed amongst you will have seen the two Drazines in the corner here, and they are the DU65 and the BR81 Drazines. They're almost available. I think they're all available now from my Shapeway store, which has a lot of stuff on it here. As you can see, there's a massive fleet of vehicles that you can get from there, and there's plans to do a few more this year. So happy 2021. Thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.